is much better. It works out easier. And let's wait for Dhruti. I don't know, for some reason she got disconnected. I don't have her number with me. Contact her.
She just texted me and asking like, are it's on or not?
Yeah. Can you ask her to come online? Yeah. Can you to come on WebEx, please?
Yeah, I'll come.
Yeah. Lavina. It's always the first time, right?
I know. No problem at all. As long as we get settled in, I'm sure, it'll be okay.
Yeah, this should settle in pretty fast. Okay, it should not take a long time, but let's just bear with me.
No problem, Iqbal. What's the schedule going to be like, Iqbal?
It's going to be like the way we are planning is that we'll have a couple of classes online.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And then I would personally come down to your SmartWorks office, where I'm discussing more important topics, where I need you to be talking a lot and questioning you. Maybe have your presentations there and stuff like that, because you're going to be having extensive presentations, talking and works and research and everything. So after every class, the first 15 to 30 minutes is going to be a review. I'm going to be asking you questions for whatever we studied in the previous class, just to make sure we are on the same page. Okay?
Right.
So we're going to be meeting 5 classes in class and classes online. Actually about 2 hours each. Okay? I don't want to kill you guys having 8 hours. But at the same time, we need to cover everything. So I get 2 hours is pretty ideal for cover the whole thing.
Okay.
So we're going at a very comfortable pace. I'm not going to be stuffing you guys with a lot of stuff. But at the same time, you'll have a research to do on your own too.
Right.
Okay. And yes, it's going to be a win-win situation for both of us as we do our our work. That's what I say. You have to put in your time to learn this stuff.
Right.
Mm-hmm. All right. Sounds very. Just let's wait for the sorry. This has to happen. And there she is. Yeah, I see.
Very static though, huh? You're not coming in very clear.
I think one of their laptops, somebody's using their speakers. That's the reason it's giving a static. Normally, once you use your headphones, it should not give you any static at all.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah. I see. Desh and Raghavendra, please use your headphones so the static should be reduced.
Yeah. I'm using headphones. Actually, Raghavendra is just downloading it.
Okay. Yeah, can wait for Raghavendra. Yeah, there he goes. Yeah. Raghavendra is there. Hey, Ruti, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. So finally I've joined in.
Yeah. Finally you're there. Don't worry. I'm sorry for the confusion and the interruption, but this should never happen again. I've switched back. What I really prefer is WebEx. I feel this is much more smooth and efficient, and we will go with WebEx going forward. Okay? Hey, Raghavendra, stop playing music. Are you using your headphones?
Yeah.
Okay, guys. All right. Okay. Our first session is going to be very much brief. It's an overall view of what we're going to be doing in the next couple of classes. Okay. And already had a quick overview of the background of Lavina. And I'm going to ask Devesh. Devesh, me a little bit about your background, please.
Sure. I did my engineering from Surat. I'm electronic and communication engineer.
Devesh, your voice is breaking. Your voice is breaking completely. Use your headphones as close as possible to your mouth because kind of breaking. Not happening. Yeah, I can hear. Can everybody hear him? Okay.
Yep.
Oh, go ahead, Devesh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you hear me properly?
Yeah, really now.
Yeah, maybe so. I and Raghavendra have to switch on you because we really had double voice maybe. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so background. I did my engineering, electronics and communication from NIT Surat, and after that I worked for back in India, and recently I worked at Karishma Education Private Limited, and that's really an I worked in the education service.
Okay.
I did my MBA recently from Clemson University.
Okay.
And yep, that's it. I'm up for jobs. Nothing is coming my way. So,
And why did you choose BA?
probably I'm a technical guy, so B sounds to be a good course, like may utilize my skills properly.
But the way you BA is not technical.
Yeah, it's a bit technical. I mean, it's not like it's not zero, but at least it comes less technical as compared to something like .NET or Java or something like that.
Okay, fine, no problem. Okay, good. All right, Dhruti, are you there, Dhruti?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, please go and introduce yourself. We have about 3 more people listening to you. I don't know what's your background, what you studied, what you worked, what your experience is, and why have you chosen to become a BA. Okay, go ahead, please.
Okay, I did my Bachelor of Commerce from Ahmedabad, and after that I was pursuing my Chartered Accountancy till intermediate level. So I basically have an accounting background.
Okay.
And I was when I was pursuing my CA, I did my internship for years in CA firm, and I came here in 2009. I pursued my MBA in accounting, and the reason I want to join BA is because as like the name, it's like business analyst. I'm under the impression that it is not very much on the technical side, but I still feel it is something related to business, and that's the background which I have all my life. So I think that's why I want to go into BA.
Okay. I'll give you a little bit hint of what we are looking at, right? I completely agree with what you said, but the real fact is that we are looking at a business analyst for an IT world, right? So it should be completely business oriented. At the same time, you need to know a little bit about the IT world, right? What's happening and what's not going to happen, right? Because you know the IT language, how you're going to speak. Don't worry about it. You're going to learn that in the class. But what is that it's not completely business oriented. It is business oriented, but we still expect you to know certain things or research certain things before you go to the interview. At the end of the day, the goal is to get the job, right? And you get the job if you have certain very good business skills, communication skills, and your IT skills. Okay? I mean, these skills, I don't expect you to sit and program or code anything or test anything. But we're touching on certain things which you need to know. Okay? Yeah, car without knowing how to switch the gears? Yeah, that's the deal, right? Okay. Next we have Raghavendra. Raghavendra, can you hear me, Raghavendra?
Yeah, I can.
Shoot. Question to you, what is your educational background, what is your experience, and why do you think that you want to go into the business analyst field?
Right. So I'm a chemical engineer by background. I did the same work. I and Luis worked together in India for 2.5 years. After that, I did my MBA from Case Western Reserve University in Organizational Development and Leadership. After that,
and you did an MBA in what? In five
it was Organizational Development and Leadership. It's kind of
okay. I'm really more on entrepreneurial side. Okay, all right.
Yeah,
okay,
more of that. Yeah. So why business analyst? Because I guess it needs a healthy mix of the IT background and the business part of it, and I think the business part I can manage pretty well. And
do you have any IT background?
No, so that's the part that I'm looking to get from you guys.
Okay, no problem. And yeah, that's fine. All right, have a very wide background. Okay,
Right.
a chemical engineer, one was graduate, one a healthcare graduate, another is Devesh, can you please just tell me again what your bachelor's in? I'm taking missed on that part.
Electronics and communication.
We have an ECE guy. Basically, ECE is nothing but electronics and communication, right? Now, our class is going to be basically around all these 4 people. Great class, because you guys can bring different backgrounds to this class and we can talk about it, right? Because everybody's belonging to the same domain, then it becomes very monotonous. But in this case, it's very easy. Each one has a different background, and we will cater to that, right? Now, talking to business analyst.
Comment, please.
Yes, tell me.
Yeah, My question is in economics, though. But I work in the healthcare domain. I'm not a healthcare graduate.
That's fine, Lavina, because see, as far as right, if you know healthcare, if you work in it, I think that you're from a healthcare background. Okay,
Absolutely.
that's how it goes. Either study or you work, whichever first. That's what I'm going to portray you. Because when you're going to sell in the market, you make sure that what your forte is or what your strengths are, right? Where you're going to be selling. Okay. The next question to you all is that, okay, do you think BA means that it is a particular certain domain, or do you think it can be put under any domain? When I mean domain, it could be either finance, it could be pharmaceuticals, it could be healthcare, it could be insurance, right? What do you other guys think, guys?
Yeah,
what do you think about it? What do you think, Ruti?
I think it can be in any domain, but it goes more detailed to specific specifics.
Like which example?
Yes, I said it definitely goes into finance, and I'm not sure how it works with the healthcare and everything, but yeah, I know like finance, marketing, so yeah, different specifics. Yeah.
Coming to your point, it is actually applicable to any background, any domain. Okay, it is not actually applicable to finance alone. This is not the case. Maybe since you are from the East Coast, maybe you think since you have so many financial companies here, we use BS there, but in reality, that might not be the case. Okay? And we might have people who are placed into this domains. You could then go into like a company like Pfizer, which is more pharmaceuticals, right? Or this question to all you guys is that, how many of you guys actually read Wall Street Journal or CNBC on a daily basis?
Not on a daily basis.
You daily basis. I'm sorry, can you for this just first class alone, when you guys can you just spell your name, because I know I can hear Lavina's voice, I can hear Dhruti's voice, but I'm confused between Devesh and Raghavendra. Yeah, this is
Raghavendra, and I don't read regularly though.
Okay, you really right?
Okay. Don't read regularly, as in not every day.
Okay. Let me ask you this question. Okay, it's very important since some of you think BA is more applicable to finance domain, right? Okay. When we talk about business analysis, we're talking about either enhancing an existing product or bringing in a new product to increase the profits or the return on investment. I'm sorry, can all hear me?
Right.
All right. So based on that, can someone tell me what happened to Bank of America recently about a month back? Raga, since you said you read CNBC, what happened to Bank of America share? What?
I said I don't read regularly.
Bank of America had introduced their fees on the ATM, on the debit card usage. Is that correct?
Yes. I guess this is Dhruti, right? Okay, Lavina is absolutely right. When a company like Bank of America, which is a huge financial country, they introduced something called ATM fees. What is the share? It's tanked. So what happened was that at that point of time, there was a glitch in their software. Okay? People who go inside the market and improve their systems, apparently that could not happen because when people are trying to actually access their accounts, they're earning about 30 minutes to get into their accounts. What the cause was that there were kind of confusions that people actually able to access their money online. Right now, everything is going online, right? Effective. Now you see who is a key player here. Who the company will come to first when something like this happens?
The comes to the technical, the software teams, and each division within a bank, has their own technical teams, and that the business would be the bankers or the people that take care of all these main banking needs or introductions to this finances, and they go to the technical teams.
Okay, very good, Lavina.
Yeah.
I can't hear him. Yeah, I don't know why.
Yeah, same. I can't hear Raghavendra myself, so his voice kind of chopped.
Yeah, we are here. Can you hear now?
Yeah, go ahead, Devesh.
Yeah, I believe that if something goes wrong anywhere, then we need people who can consult us on some issues and you know the problem and notice the root of the problem and give some possible solutions to it.
Very good, Devesh. I think you gave a very good insight. Okay, Lavina, you also gave a very good insight. Okay, now again, boiling down to the crux of the problem. When the system was developed, who all the documentation? Who did all the work in the company?
BA.
Is it a coder or a BA or who did the job?
I think it's the BA who does all the
Right.
the pricing and everything.
Absolutely. All guys are right. Right? When something goes wrong with our team, what do? We look at the manual first. Right? When it goes wrong with the computer, what do? You Google it. And what comes in Google is your manuals. Okay, such and such system, these are to be done. And that's exactly what they do. You call any customer support, they say plug out something, give it 30 minutes or 30 seconds or something like that, and it's fired back again. Right?
Mm-hmm.
You actually form a very, very important team in the company or in this whole project as such. Okay? So you guys are kind of the key people who come in and get the right requirements. And not only getting the right requirements, but also documenting the requirements. If something goes wrong tomorrow, we have to look into these documents to make sure that you have done something right and we can refer back to something. Agree with me?
Yeah.
Even touching on our initial class, I'm just going very extempo, very brief and very open. Okay? Please have to ask me as many questions as you have. Please feel free to ask me anytime you have any questions. Okay?
Alright.
If you have questions, please stop me. I don't go with somebody not knowing something. We'll all study together. We will crack this, get all of you very good jobs, and you will be placed. And how can that? If you learn it. And if you learn what comes, confidence. Build your confidence so that when you're placed in the market and you're handling an interview, you should be in a key position to answer everything. Can I everything? Can I teach you everything? No. We can only teach you so much. But that knowledge, you should be able to extrapolate it and apply it. Okay?
Okay.
Guys. For any questions?
No,
we're good.
from my side.
How about you, Jyoti? Do you think we can apply in BA to a CA world or CA world? Do you think we will actually... You said you are a commerce graduate, right?
Yes.
Okay. So do you think that, is actually equivalent to CPA America? CPA have their own software and everything as far as I know. And do you think they can use them there?
Sure. They use like analyzing and everything. I'm not sure with the IT side. Yeah, it does have its own software like QuickBooks and Peachtree and stuff. So
Okay,
I think
that's right. Okay,
yeah.
one thing you guys need to understand is that, okay, about software, it is not something which comes out of the blue, okay? Software is based upon existing systems and knowledge and the keywords, right? If you're looking at a system for a CA company or a CPA company in your case, right? What are we looking at? We're looking at taxes, we're looking at brackets, looking at auditing, we're looking at different things, accounting, debits and credits, right? And that will play a more important role since you know these things when you go there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Trying to tell you that what is the kind of importance what you have in this world of BA, right? So get the credit. What I say is that fundamentals very strong. Your basics very, very strong. Once you get your basics, you should be in a decent position to handle anything. Okay? This as BA, all of you guys, BA does not mean, right? It does not mean it is coming out of the blue. There's an extended service which eases or makes processes very efficient. Okay? The principles still are the same. That's why we use people, you guys, who are from different walks of life, who have different backgrounds, but yet the look is still the same.
A question.
Go ahead.
What is the difference between BA and SAP FICO?
Go ahead, yeah. So what is the difference? SAP FICO.
Yeah.
SAP FICO, right?
When you just because you mentioned CPA, CA, I thought
So, what do you think is the difference?
I think BA is more like on the analysis side, and SAP FICO is more on just documenting. It's like, I feel it's something like how QuickBooks software is, like, it seeing the data and everything. That's what I'm not sure.
BA can also be a SAP FICO guy, okay? But again, in terms of what? Are you a technical BA or a functional BA? They tell you as a functional BA, right? So to go into the company, you understand the whole processes, right? We're not expecting you to sit there and code something or program something. But you're getting these programmers and coders to do that, right? So it's a wider term which applies to any domain. SAP FICO is very narrow to the official component of SAP software. Okay? It's the same, but not necessarily. Because different technical components involved, there could be functional components involved, and depends on what capacity you're going into the company. But if you're, say for example, if somebody is implementing the implementation of a SAP FICO module, right? It's a module. SAP is a whole big picture, and FICO is just a module of that, right? So if you're a company to aid the implementation, so what they expect you to do is that, okay, first can we implement this? Are we in the place? Do we have the resources? Do we have the databases to do that? Do we have the programming to do that? Do we have the web applications to do that? So this is what I analyze, right? We want to get information to see is it acceptable or make this project into a fruitable or fruition project. Okay? Questions? You're very quiet, Devesh. Shoot a question, please.
Oh, actually I muted it, that's what. As of now, I don't have any specific question in my mind, but in case I'll have it, I'll just ask you.
Okay, sure. Ravindra, how about you?
I'm fine too. I the discussion the way it's going on.
From now?
Nothing.
Okay, no problem. All right. So let's start our first class, which is going to be again very brief. Like I said, I'm not going to go into the details of it too much, but on a very brief picture. Okay. Still expecting 2 more people to join us tomorrow, and for them to catch up, we can't go at a flying pace. Okay.
Sorry to interrupt you here. A quick question. Will we be getting notes from you, Iqbal? So we can.
After every class, I'll be sending you my slides, whatever I teach you. Okay? I guess I have kind of developed a new kind of a thing. I'm going to be loading everything, and you have access to the server. So all these things, whatever I teach, will be there. So for the next months, when you guys are there, you can access the server and download all this information.
Great.
Okay.
Thanks.
Yeah, perfect.
All right. Everybody my slides?
Yes.
Okay, this slide, right? We asked you what's your background, what's your education, and yada, yada. Okay. So we're going to be discussing in the next couple of sessions is to be what the scenario is going to be, which also we discussed, right? What scenario? What domains? What is your role in that, right? Now, what is the difference between a role and a scope? We all went to business schools or some economic schools or some form of business schools, right? What is the role and what is scope?
Is a specific role in a like a task. Scope is like a wide, like, you can do n number of things, but like what you that is like a scope.
Lavina, you just contradicted yourself. One is specific and one you're saying wide. So decide which one is it, wide or specific.
Oh no, sorry. This was Dhruti answering. When I say scope, it's like very, it's like scope of, it's very vast. It's vast.
So which, the role or the scope?
Scope.
Okay.
Scope is like very vast, and role is like very up to very specific.
Okay.
Can I have that?
Yeah. Go ahead, Lavina.
Okay, role of a BA would be it's a specific role. Okay. My understanding of what a BA would be is other requirements.
Okay.
Documents. Scope of BA would be it's wider. a wider role that the BA, it's a wider, what you call that, God, I can't get the word for it.
No problem. Take your time.
Okay,
Take your time.
from my understanding, I could be wrong here, please correct me if I am.
Sure,
A BA
sure.
could also act as a liaison between the technical and the business teams. So
Correct.
I'm assuming scope would be more of a wider overview.
Okay.
Our role is more specific to what a BA is supposed to do. I don't know.
Okay.
To add into that,
Very good. Very
can I
good.
say something?
Yes.
This is Raghavendra.
Sure, Ravindra.
Yeah, so I was thinking of the role is more like as it's more like the middleman between the technical
Okay.
business part of it.
Okay.
That's the role of the
Okay.
BA to kind of be the communicator, coordinator, or the liaison between both of them. Whereas the actual tasks or more like the skills that actually the BA comes with. Less thinking.
Okay. Correct. Okay. Now the next question is, do you role and scope can be interchangeable? Can something be more specific and something become wider or perspective?
Sure. Yeah,
So
definitely.
in ideal world, whatever you guys answered is actually absolutely right. Okay.
Okay.
A role could be more specific or a scope could be more specific. How you like it. Real world, it could change. Okay. Depends on the project. Depends on the project. Okay.
Can I say,
Alright. Yep.
can I say role of a BA is like the responsibility that a BA handles, and scope of a BA means the future opportunities which BA will be getting, something like that? I may be wrong, but
Okay. Basically, right, think it in very simple terms, okay? The role that we want to gather requirements. We want to be a liaison, okay? How you pronounce that, okay? You to be like creating, okay, UML diagrams. This is your role, okay? Your scope is what part of the module or what part of the software you will be working on, right? Are you working on SAP FICO? Are you working on SAP SD? Depends on that. So that's your scope. The scope, the limitations, what are you exactly working on? Find your responsibilities, like Raghavendra rightly said. Responsibilities. Okay? All right. Yes.
Scope defines.
Yeah. So scope defines basically what are you going to be doing in this particular project. Which part of the project are you going to be handling? Okay? It is more specific. Scope is more specific. Role specific to you as an individual. But scope is more specific to you as playing a part in the whole project. Which part of the project are you playing?
Okay.
Makes sense.
Okay? Clear?
Yes.
Guys, are we on the same page so far?
Yeah.
yes.
All right. We're going to be okay. We're talking about challenges. Okay. When I got slide, I'll define it, explain it, go detailed into it. Okay. And we'll talk about the competency model and about what competencies you need to have to survive as a DA. Okay. And then we'll talk about waterfall versus agile. Has anybody heard this term called waterfall or agile?
Yes.
Yeah.
Lavina, don't answer it. Whoever is not heard, can you just guess it, please?
Oh, actually, you were.
Devesh,
I mean,
go ahead,
I heard
Devesh.
it.
You're very quiet. I'm going to put spot. Has this term, Devesh? Waterfall or agile?
Yeah, when I was applying for a lot of product manager positions, they asked for these techniques and like whether you have this experience or not, or knowledge or not. So that's
Absolutely, right? So do you think
Yeah.
it's important for you to learn in this class?
I think it is because it was, I think they related to some process or something. I mean, not sure about that, but
Okay, no problem. That's
Yeah.
perfect. Okay. Dhruti, what do you think, Dhruti?
I do not have an idea on what waterfall.
No, Dhruti. You'll be in a place. Believe me, 2 classes, you'll inside out of this. Okay? Now, you go ahead.
Oh, yeah, actually, Murugan entered the video, so while going through that basic video, I came across the SDL, the software life cycle. So I started seeing and I kind
So
of
what,
read
okay, so if you've already seen the video, what is waterfall and what is agile? What are they?
I didn't come across yet. I mean, it didn't talk about it. It was again an introductory video. So these things I researched on my own, looking at Wikipedia, whatever it told me.
Excellent. Good job, Raghavendra. Like with
So-
that, we'll dig into it right now, okay? Go ahead. What did you think? You said you something about it, right?
Agile, don't know them in detail, but I do know that they are software methodologies.
Excellent. Okay, that's
What
the right word.
I think is more contemporary. Agile is something, I'm sure, okay? So don't laugh.
No problem. We are learning one step at a time, right?
Right.
Baby step. But make sure that all learning together, okay?
Right. I think
this is
waterfall is more, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, but you complete it first. Yeah, go ahead.
Waterfall, from what I understand, is more contemporary. It's one of the initial methodologies that was adapted for software processes.
Very good.
And Agile being agile, if I go by the word, it's more flexible. So I don't know if it.
Absolutely. You actually you knocked it on the head. You nailed it on the head. You got it, okay? You're absolutely right on that. Okay? Guys, everybody, this words, waterfall and agile are be your bread and butter. Okay? All of us have to know this thoroughly. Out of every session, I'm going to question you. What is this? What is that? An example, I'm going to test you. Okay? That's all good. Okay? Because something, if you look at any data requirement, the first thing they want you to know is, have you worked on an agile methodology? You worked on a Scrum-based agile methodology. Okay? And basically, these are two methodologies which are used to develop or work on the software development life cycle, which is the SDLC. Do you attention now, okay? Since this might be new to you, I would say that take notes for now, or have a very good class, because since we have some people who have some knowledge about it, like Raghavendra and Lavina, they will know. If you don't know, I don't know how much you know. But for now, I'm okay. And you guys, these are your best buddies for the next couple of weeks, and even after you go in the job. So you should be in a position to help each other. Okay. Now, you might go in different projects, and you will see the same faces again and again. No matter go to Barclays, no matter go to JP Morgan. The project based upon 3 months to 2 years max, and they keep rotating. So you won't have these as your best pals. Okay? We're going to be discussing about the techniques, tools, deliverables, and the communication style. I'm going to go everything in detail in today's class, a little bit, not too much, because I'm still waiting on the other two guys. But it's okay. So there's something hanging here. Alright. Okay. This is a very useless slide as per me. I just put it just to let you guys know that. Okay? In practice, right? This is based on as of 2002 statistics, right? There's a huge amount of money invested into the software world. Okay? Developing projects, developing new enhancements, developing new, products as such. Okay? But not everything sees the daylight, or should I say, not everything comes to fruition. Saying that we can have an abstract idea, okay? But how you capture the abstract idea, you define the idea, you convert the definition into an implementable project or a product, is all it counts. And that's where you come into play. You get more definition, come into play as a third-party perspective, what you bring in. I can't hear you, Devesh.
No, actually, it's my group. Yeah. I'll just.
Go ahead.
No, it's a background noise. Don't worry.
Okay. What are you saying?
It's my other roommate is speaking something, so that was. I'll just mute it.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So one of the most important things, that's the reason we have BAs. First is that we don't want to pay a guy to be on our payrolls forever, because you guys are only specific to a certain project, right? Second thing which is very important is that you want to have a third-party perspective or an outside perspective on your project or on your vision to attest, validate, and say that this is something possible or something can be done out of it. You guys are
Right.
okay.
Yes.
Let me give you this example. Okay, you guys are like, either you have husbands, wives, girlfriends, boyfriends, all that stuff, right? If you go in whatever that could be, right? You take an idea, maybe or out of fear, that you're right, absolutely right. Whatever you say is right. I don't care about it. Okay. If you ask, right, it must have been right. I'm just based on experience. Okay. Same. But the thing, if you go to a third party and ask your friend, or not even your friend, outside person, and also comment on your ideas, you get a true picture because they're biased. They'll tell you exactly what they see. For example, when you go to an outside counselor or outside student assistant, like when you go to a student counselor, what does it say? They are not biased. That's the reason they have them there to tell what you should know to survive or sustain in this market, or you should know to make an informative judgment or decision. Okay? Actually play a very key role. I think that DAs are bullshit. Some people might think that, quiz and programs are bullshit. But actually everybody plays a very key role and plays an even important role because of the fact that you lay the foundation for the others. If the foundation is not right, how can the building sustain or stand on its feet? Right?
Right.
Yeah, that's right.
Over it? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Basically, in our session, you, the PA, act as a liaison or liaison, I don't know how you guys pronounce it based on the background pronunciation, but how I pronounce it, between the top level management, between the testers, between coders, between programmers, between users, and everybody. And you are to capture the complex requirements which come out of abstract vision. Okay, what abstract vision? I'm just saying this thing, abstract vision. What do you think?
Something which is not clear.
Excellent. Dhruti,
Abstract, something which you cannot see. It's just someone's thoughts.
okay, very good. Rara, what do you think?
Abstract would be like something that cannot be expressed perfectly outside in words. I mean, very tough to quantify, probably.
Very good. Arina, what do you think?
High-level vision, that's not very clear.
Indra, I got you, but can you repeat it so that everybody else can hear? Noise disturbance, sir.
I just said it's something very tough to quantify exactly, and something which one person sees some way, the other might just not see what she's saying. I see it differently. Yeah.
Okay, excellent. Lavina, what do you think?
It's a very high-level vision, something that's not very clear.
Okay. All you guys answered the right question, answered it very correctly, okay? And each one of you had a different take. Somebody thought that it is something like not quantifiable, something not clear, since it's an abstract vision, it's just an idea, right? Everything is correct. But can you see from your own perspectives, you gave it a different definition, right? But that maybe it encompasses everything, right? Everything into one definition, right? So it feels is that tomorrow when you go into the market, in front of you, things that you haven't experienced, okay? So you have to, whatever you talk, you have to be very, first of all, diplomatic and very, very polished, okay?
Right.
This is a habit from now. Cultivate it, inculcate this in you. That how you guys talk, make sure that you have to deliver your idea very distinctively and very clearly. Okay? You'll be bullshitting, don't worry about it. You say as much as you want, that's fine. But differently, you tell them what they want to hear. Okay?
Okay.
Guys?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay. It's all confidence, right? Do I know what you know unless and until I test you? If I test you, do I really know what you know? I don't know about you. Unless I really place you into a project and test you. Right?
Right.
What I need to know is that can you talk? Can you handle a question? Can you have a situation? Can you your own self? That's important because I'm testing, can you handle your own self sitting in that chair to be interviewed, right? And what up? Very sure. If you don't know an answer, that's okay. Say I haven't handled that in my past. That's okay. But the answer it very, very clearly. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Okay. Now, what is business? What is analysis, right? Again, we're talking about business analyst, but let's talk about what is business analysis, right? What is that? There is something, this some all of you should maybe note down, or if you already know this, then you can just remember it. An asset system. Asset system meaning what is your present system? What is your existing system? Okay? And how your different organizational changes or different system implementations what would bring to about an overall process improvement. At the end of the day, it's all about paisa, right? It's all about dollars. $4. How much money do we make by doing all these things, right? So that's what we want to aim at. The document thinks that if I bring in a certain improvement or enhancement, this will let me improve my return on investment, which is also called as ROI. It will be very commonly used in your sessions. Okay? So we do that by enhancing certain things. But you know, this enhancement is actually going to bring about the whole process improvement. And that only happens when you guys know exactly what you're talking about and how you are advising and consulting these people who are doing the job at the other end. When the other end meaning at the project level, right? Now you're consulting with the top management. It could be the CTO, project manager, product owner, anybody, and the end users. Okay, the end users. Do you think end user is actually a human being? Right.
It does.
Whoever answered, go ahead. Look at me. Sorry?
It depends on the product.
Yes.
It depends.
The user of the product. So yeah, I mean it depends on.
So who could be the user?
Anybody could be an end user.
Can you an
It
example?
could be a company itself.
Okay. Okay. And
Human. Any.
yeah, go ahead.
Could be a system.
And
A company. And you as a human being.
Sales too.
okay. Question is that not necessarily a human being. That's what we think. When we talk about end user, we have a human space to it, a human form to it, right? That's the case. It could physical human being sit in a company like somebody said right now who is accessing the system. It could be a database which is connecting to the system. It could be a web application which is connecting to the system. It could be a server which is in the system. Now, graduate from one level. That's from the business acumen or knowledge what we have to the next of IT fluence. Okay? This is what we're going to be doing. When actually implementing these projects, there could be different scenarios. And these different scenarios could be different systems, users, humans, and it could be inside user and outside user, anybody. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's do this idea question. Okay? To application. Okay? What do I need to host an application? That's what this is. If you have an application, say like gmail.com or say an application like bankofamerica.com, you have to access your account. How can I host it? Huh?
You password.
Well,
So-
next.
You need a server.
I was going to say
Excellent.
server.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Now you're going there. Okay, next. Next,
In an
right?
application system.
So
Sorry?
something that's called domain.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, next. Domain, by the way.
Actually, no. A domain is like bankofamerica.com. So that's like the domain name.
Excellent, yeah.
I don't know.
Yep,
Yeah.
you need to, you need to conquer a space for yourself, right? Or say, restrict a space for yourself. But you don't want anybody else to type in the same word and get into their
Yes.
website, right? So that's domain.
Yes.
Very good. What we need is we need a server, we need a database, we need a web application. Okay? This is something what we're going to be picking up on a daily basis as we go through the training. So keep these in mind. For everything, there has to be a server. Again, the server could be a physical server or a web server. The web application is something, a web, application server, like it says, it's a web application, right? Because in simple terms, the first thing he might ask you, what do you need to do is, if you don't know, then he might feel for sure that you know nothing, right? So cultivate this IT fluency as you go forward. Okay?
Okay.
So good?
Fine.
Okay. Guys, it's about 8 o'clock now. Do you guys want to take a break for 3 minutes? You good?
Yes.
You?
Yeah, you can carry on.
Okay. I really need to take a break for 1 minute, okay? I'll be back.
Sure.
Okay. When I ask you, do you need a break, that means I need a break. Okay, 1 minute, max 2 minutes, I'll be back. All right, just stay, don't cut your lines or don't exit or anything. Just stay there and I'll be back, okay? Thanks, man.
Okay.
Hello?
Yes.
Hello?
Yeah.
Everybody's there? I'm back, see, I'm fine. All right.
Wait.
Proceed, Dhuti, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, excellent, Dhuti. Okay. We use the word which is absolutely right. This word is very, very specific to a BA. You will act as a liaison or a bridge or something connecting to multiple departments or multiple systems or multiple people at different levels, right? So that's most important.
Right.
Okay. Now going forward, we learn this word called eliciting requirements. Basically, what we're talking about is gathering requirements. In the business world, they say eliciting the requirement. Okay. And that is one thing. We remember this word called stakeholders. Who's a stakeholder?
It can be a customer, it can be employees, or anything to an organization will be a stakeholder.
But in the project, right? Talking about organization. Think of it only in terms of a project. We are only working on the scope. Now that's where the scope comes, right? That's the scope, okay? Mentally, first think that, we're working on a module or a product in a company, okay? So like Raghavendra, right? I'm sorry, I'm not using words. Pardon me on that, but you are absolutely right. Lavina, what do you think?
What's Iqbal?
Who stakeholders, Lavina?
These are the business, the people that are giving us the business. They are the stakeholders.
Okay, that's fine. Ruthi, who are
Could you
the
say share? Could you like the main shareholders or the main people take decision or any like things like that?
To me as the answer to you.
No, it's an answer, but it's in the form of a question.
Okay, yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's fine.
It's my diplomatic answer.
That's fine. Absolutely.
Iqbal,
Yes.
I want to stand corrected. Stakeholders would be everyone that has something to do with that particular project. It could be the business and various technical teams, the project, all of them, right?
Absolutely. Okay. I was getting there, but you threw the question to myself. Okay, that's all right. I think that at the end of the day, when I first collect all your information, then you answer, right? Okay. Stakeholders in our case could be CEO of a company itself who is initiating it, or a CTO, a technical officer, right, who is taking, or a product manager, or a product manager, or the coders, programmers, testers, users. It could be a stakeholder who are having an impact or who are associated with this product.
Take decisions, you mean?
Not really, not a decision maker. Whoever has access, who is using the system.
Access. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyone who gets affected.
Or whoever has influence. It could be end user, it could be end supplier, it could be end anybody. Okay. Who has a say in this project or who has something with this project is a stakeholder.
Okay.
Word say it's a stake. They stake in this something, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now you as a business analyst are understanding the business problems, right? Understand the business problems to identify the opportunities, identify their weaknesses, identify or associate a risk to what problems and the opportunities are, and then you come up with the solution. Fast?
No, that's fine.
All right. Okay. Let's look at it this way, right? Okay. Indra and Devesh and Ruti, yes, Lavina already has a job, right?
Have a job.
When, right? I'm just assuming that the others are looking for. I'm not sure. Maybe you guys also have jobs. Sorry if I'm saying well, but
No,
I'm
no.
just assuming this way. Okay. When you're looking for a job, what are the opportunities? How do you identify the opportunities or weaknesses? How do you come up with this? Think of business problem. It's actually a business problem. So now this is your challenge, right?
At the requirement. Or
Okay.
can you see if the requirements suit your skill set? You look
Okay,
at
what is that?
opportunity. In our case, it would be the term of the project. Could it be 3 months, 6 months, full term, contracting,
Okay.
package, the benefits, relation?
Okay.
Basically, whatever are our requirements, we
But more, Lavina, what are the opportunities? You're about one step after that. What are the opportunities? With a job, like if you really analyze what are the opportunities, what is it was an analysis, right? So how do you
Right.
find the opportunities? How
put in
think it's an
business
opportunity?
analyst. What you're marketing yourself as a business analyst, correct? No?
Right. No, but you're still not getting there yet, okay? And
Please
say that how do you identify an opportunity?
Excuse, please repeat the question. I do not understand the question.
Okay, Jyoti, if you go to the job market, right? Now, you're looking at different opportunities where you can apply and where you can get a job, right? How do you identify the opportunity?
Okay. Identify that is a specific opportunity. And if it is based on your specific skill set that you know, and you know that this is what you have. So
Okay.
based that you can say that, okay, that is an opportunity for me, like which you can grab. If you don't have the specific skill set, then you still have some drawbacks to that particular opportunity.
Oh, very good. Also right, okay? I'm getting everybody's answer, okay? Why is that when you're looking at an opportunity, what is that you already have something. In this term, it is your skill set, right? Now, how can you extend your skill set or how can you leverage yourself to getting opportunities or extra opportunities? Extra opportunities is in the case of Lina, like how she's going from healthcare to business analysis. Existing opportunities in the case of other guys who either come from the finance domain, like commerce, which is also I consider as finance, or the engineering domain, since you're connected to IT, right? So that's the right. We all do this, right? I always look beyond the obvious. Let's do the obvious first. What we have in hand? We have skill set, like somebody said, right? Now we want to see how can you leverage your skill set. Get into it. Can I solve this? Can I take this as a job? Can I perform my duties? Those are your identifications. Okay?
Yes.
Everyone went way beyond answer. That is excellent. But let's come to the more crux of it, the more basic part of it. Let's identify what it is. Now, the next part would be identifying the weaknesses, right? Weaknesses. Do I have this? Can I use these tools? Do I have a UML background? Do I have business analysis skills? Okay. If you don't, you have to strengthen them, right? Associate the risk. Risk is what? Even if it's a job, even if I crack the interview, can I sustain? If I sustain, what do I need to do? How can I research myself? Can I get into it? Okay? Your risk, you have to analyze and associate risk to everything you do. So you do a risk management. Now, this boils down to one main thing, which is called return on investment. You guys already had your, you have put in your time in either work or education to do all these things, right? Now, how can you make the money based on what you've done so far? I'm answering your question on a very basic level. Okay, we have to understand the basics first. That's kind of a business problem. That's exactly what a CEO does. He does not understand the business basic problems. He goes beyond that. Because, okay, right? He wants the vision. He needs the assistance of DAs and other people in the company for him to make his abstract vision into fusion. Okay. Guys, is it now?
Yeah. Yeah, clear.
All right. Scope of analysis is very stupid. You guys can read on this. I can read it on your own. I found this somewhere and I found it very interesting. Basically, this is how it is. It's very complicated. When you go to a system, right? Basically, of it, right? What is that? The CEO stands at the top of a dam. Okay, he's putting fuel or water into the dam. Okay, and what happens in the dam? How it is using the water? How it is narrowing down the supply? How is it converting the energy if necessary? Is where you come into play. Okay, you want to analyze at every corner of the project. Good.
Mm-hmm.
This is very silly. You guys can find yourself. Okay. Now coming down to the challenges. Okay. Let's go one step up. Okay. What are the key challenges? Okay. So first thing, I'm going to place Dhruti on place. Dhruti, what do you think is the most important challenge?
If I would say right now would be complete of the IT background, so that would be like a challenge for me. To know that.
You as put yourself in the shoes of a business analyst. And what are the challenges?
The information and be able to use the.
Okay, that's fine. That's okay. That's a good answer. Like feel confident or whatever you say. Okay.
And probably it would be like because analyzing the information and like different whatever specific requirements. So trying to gather the specific thing which is related to the requirement and be able to analyze it, which which is the basic of a business analyst.
Okay.
I believe that. Satisfying the customer will be the biggest because how good solution you give. Some loopholes in whatever we say. So maybe because that will be the main challenge.
Okay. Raghavendra, what do you think, Raghavendra?
Probably, since we said it's basically starting from an abstract idea. So, in the sense, what exactly is the client trying to tell us, and what
exactly,
is
okay. Remember the word exactly. Remember exactly.
So, I think that exact, the actual part of it probably would be the biggest challenge. Trying to get them onto the same page would be the biggest challenge.
Okay, very good. Okay, remember that word exactly. I'll come back to it. Okay, Lavi, what do you think?
Requirements, like Raghavendra said, getting exactly what is in what is in the mind of the business, and putting across to the technical teams of the business.
Okay.
I think would be the BA doing that correctly.
Okay. Now I'm going to tell the same things in a different way. You guys abstract vision. You said exactly right. Came exactly close to it. The answer is most important. Now let's see what the slide says. Okay. most important challenge what you face is finding the requirements. Actually knowing what you want to do, right? That exactly never happens. That happens in our real world. Believe me, you see this all the time. And it's very good for us that it exactly never happens so that we have a job and keep it all keep going wrong. That's a thing about it. But it's okay. Apart from it, the most thing is that you want to define your requirements, right? Touch that, right? Define what you have in hand. How do you want to get this into an end product?
You want to get it into a what?
End product. Thing what we talked about is the scope. You want to define the scope of this. Assign a risk to it. Okay. About it, we want to assign risk to all elements what we've gathered so far. Now, we have these requirements coming from different stakeholders. You're going to be interacting with people from different backgrounds and different domains and different levels and different departments as such, right? Now, how you take these requirements and find them a risk to make sure that it can be something doable, okay? How you define a risk to it, you want to define your scope. Like this scope is, okay, with the enhancements, we're going to get these enhancements. What is going to do this with? Are they going to be applied? Somebody is having a jarring noise, sir.
Sorry, there's a disturbance here.
I'm sorry, Lavina.
Hear you.
Okay, I'm going to repeat myself again. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
We gather all the requirements from different stakeholders, from different departments. We want to find a risk to it, right? Risk factor. To see, are these requirements or implementable? Okay? And to do that, we want to make sure that we define the scope. Requirements applying to which particular department or which particular module of the whole project. Is it everything or to something or some part of it? Right? Like you said, SAP Pico or is it a SAP SD? You want to know that too, right? It's something which is applicable to everything. It's only applicable to certain things. Okay? So we want to have our scope very distinctly defined and understanding scope. Otherwise, spending a lot of time and money in doing something which is not required. Okay? After this comes something called communication. Now, you tell me how important is communication.
Oh, the most after the
one of the most important things, right?
Yeah.
Though they feel that politics, they feel that communication is still holding the fourth position. I said communication holds the first position according to me.
Yeah.
You are able to clearly communicate what you really want. You will to solve it at a much faster pace.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely agree. Communication is the key.
Jyoti?
I agree as well.
You do agree, right? I feel that communication is very, very important because you will be exposed to people from various different walks of life with different sentiments and temperaments and different styles of talking and getting, right? So we've been a place to knock us down to their levels and understand what they're trying to say. Get the right information out of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yes?
Yeah, you're right. Communication is important because if you are trying to do something to someone and if that person is not getting what you want to say, then environment collection or scope control or risk is of use. Then clear. Whatever you want to say should be clear.
Right. Okay. Very good. Guys, good. Okay. Look at this is very, very theoretical. This might not be completely or applicable to the actual real world, but you have to understand the technical concept associated with your skill set, right? We have textual, we have conceptual, we have logical, and we have physical. We apply this on a daily basis, and we call something called common sense. Okay? So now apply the different skills, what you have, or what you will embed in this class, into the project or into the real working and environment or atmosphere. Okay?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Give me an example without looking at this, without the slides, all of you, an example or a contextual, starting with Jyoti.
It's like a project related to, let's say, I read this IT, so it's like it's to a specific domain.
Okay. Okay. All right. Laveen, what do you think contextual?
Texture, you don't want us to look at your slide, you said, right?
Yeah.
Contextual. Sorry.
If you want to answer, it's okay. Maybe right or wrong, it
my
doesn't
own
matter.
answer.
Yeah.
From contextual, I would say, although not a technical person, is opposed to the technology.
Mm-hmm.
I said jargons, all the IT jargons, in order to be comfortable. You don't have to know it, but you have to understand it.
Okay.
And contextual in terms of business process and re-engineering, I would say whatever domain you whatever domain you locate yourself in, you should know that. You should have a BA more or less you should be an expert in that domain. You should have a strong foothold in your domain.
Okay. Good. Okay. Look at the slide.
I looked at
it. All right. That's fine. What do you think is contextual, man? What do you think according to you is then contextual? I'm sorry, these girls left is no answers, man. They read something from the slide already. So now it's between you and me. So throw me an answer.
Okay. Contextual, what I feel is something which can be documented or which can be implemented, and which can be something. Because context, that is something which you can write or something. It's a wild guess. I'm not sure.
Remember the word context, what you used, okay?
Yeah.
Ravindra, what do you think, Ravindra?
Much to say though, but yeah. For the word context is the only thing that stands out. It's basically for a problem you're talking. I mean, for EA, it's like the context. I mean, whichever domain you're talking about, you should be able to understand what is being said or is being required of you. So it's context that stands out for me.
It's relation to. It's like a context in relation to what, like that.
Okay. Only right. Okay. Context basically means that in terms of context. Context is very specific, pertaining to what we're doing, right? Contextual, like you said, IQ French, like business engineering, like you said, domain, like you said, everything. Can we think called enterprise here? You're also looking at the enterprise as such, right? You look at the business case here, it's actual, right? Because these words you're going to be using going in the future. Okay? Alright, how conceptual? What does the word concept mean? For sure.
Some of it is not documented.
Okay. I think Devesh answered this question already. He's talking about requirements, documenting, and everything. That is conceptual. Okay. Because you concept and document and validate your requirements, right? Because the whole concept of this project, right? Okay. Guys, don't look at this slide. Tell me what is physical.
Some of it can be touched.
Okay. Okay. So, what do you think it is? People who are involved here. I gave you the answer pretty much. Who are the physical people who are involved here?
The others.
Stakeholders.
End users. Stakeholders. Very good. Yeah, very good. That is a different answer. I don't have a slide. Good, guys. Big point, right? That's right here. You want to stand the point. Okay? Now, look at logical. logical?
Code. Reading.
Okay.
It's very much in relation to the concepts like logic and I'm giving an example, like you're analyzing using all the
You answered the
concepts
question.
and
Don't even go forward. You answered the question. Okay. Analysis is okay. If I go from point A to point B, how many points have to touch in between? If I touch point 1A, how can I go to point B? If I do 1C, how can I go to point B? Different structure analysis is what is logical. Okay.
Logical is something which makes some sense.
Make what?
Yeah,
exactly. Right. Sense,
Yeah.
right? That's absolutely right. How can it make sense unless and until analyze it? Right? Now, let's look at it. Okay?
Yeah.
Now, if you think now we all had Cyber Monday and all your Black Friday sales and everything, right? Look at it logically. You wanted to buy the different TVs and laptops and computers and whatnot, whatever is available, right? How do you make sense out of it?
Sense out of what?
To logically analyze if you're going for the right deal and if you're really satisfied that you're getting the right price.
Maybe I'll try to search various websites and check out what are the deals, how much discount they are offering, and price is based because Black Friday and Cyber Monday deals are basically dealing with the price. So, so the factor will be the price and the brand which I'm buying. So these are two factors on which I'll decide whether I buy something or not.
So in short, you analyze, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's it, right? See, it's a short word called analysis, right? And that's exactly it. Remember these words; these are very important. Okay, when you're going, somebody talks about it, you should say logically we should analyze these things, and we should do those things. Just use that use jargons, and you'll be fine. Okay.
Okay.
It's very important because these guys, you might with Goras, you might be dealing with Deshis. You never know, right? But they all understand the same language and appreciate if you date. At least you show that you know something. Okay, and show is putting in the right words. Have these beauty pageants, right?
Yeah.
For all these, right? Miss Universe or even Miss World or whatever that is. They have to talk. They give a topic and they have to talk. They all give answers, right? But who answer the question in the shortest time with the right answer with the shortest words and the meaning immediately is the one who is picked up, right? So that's what you guys should inculcate in you guys. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We talked about the competencies, right? What's coming to the only BA? Don't even look beyond it, okay? Just look at the BA role right now. Now we are coming from the worldly knowledge and the business acumen and everything to basically boiling down to the BA part of it, right? Important competency to have is eliciting requirements, which means you communicate. You need to gather requirements, right? You're going to speak to different stakeholders. You're going to be gathering different information. How can you take that information or not taking? How can you get the right information from the right people? Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Competency number 2 is creating business requirements document. Now, you already taken on the information, but also document it, right? So that you show you the job. You're going to build time. You have to build to something, right? Before you know something. In real life, you need to build time for something. Okay, say that, okay. You're creating a business requirements document, okay? It's a spelling mistake right there. It's a requirement document, okay? Then what we do is we use our logical brain, which is the structured analysis. Like we all about Cyber Monday or whatever that is, we have to structurally analyze all the requirements what we've gathered and document it, right? We want to make sure that these requirements are something what we can actually use, right?
Yeah.
Once you have an analysis done, we want to do something called validating. Or in other words, in simple words, called testing the requirements, right? You want to make sure that these requirements, whatever you have gathered so far, are actually implementable or doable work with, right? So you test these requirements and see that, okay, can I work with these guys? Can these guys especially do, right? Once you do the thing part of it, then you come with something called the end user support. So you develop a new product, right? There's a different system or people involving with this or integrating with this particular system or product. And make sure that you give them knowledge what they need to have or educate them for them to use the system, right? And all of us have gone in some way or the other, in our school, in our work, call a system upgrade, and they have like a huge document. Okay, the system is upgraded. If you want to have anything, please refer to this. Have you guys? At some point, right? At some point, in some part.
Yeah.
And the part is IT fluency, like somebody clearly said, and that is contextual. So make sure that our IT fluency is up to the mark and are able to do that. Okay? And but not the least is called business process reengineering. Nothing but value to the existing product. Okay? And you guys need to know. Okay? So we're actually doing pretty good with time and pretty good with our slides. Okay? Sure, how I'm going to really accommodate the other people who are going to come up tomorrow. I'm sure they have to catch up at a very high level speed. But what I'm going to do is that I'm going to make you guys teach those two guys. How about that?
Okay.
Okay? I'll spectate it tomorrow for the few minutes. Yes?
I have to interrupt you here for a moment. Just a moment, please. You know what? I found out only today that the training is today.
Okay.
Hello? Okay,
Yeah.
what? I'm going to say this very softly. On the 23rd at night, we are surprising our son. We're taking him to Disney, and we're only going to be back on the 28th. I mentioned it to Nina when she called me last week, and I told her, my flights, our package, our whole thing is already booked. It's a surprise for my son. So 23rd night, which is a Friday, I'm going to be out, and I will be back on the 28th at night from Disney.
Okay. Did you have Wi-Fi in your plane?
In Disney, I'll be out, yeah.
I'm just pulling your leg. Don't worry about that. That's okay. That's completely understandable. Don't worry. I'm just pulling your leg. Okay, that's understandable. That's fine. We can work around that. Okay?
Okay. Thanks.
I actually, personally, myself, I work with a couple of other companies too. I have these different batches which I teach. I actually have my own company myself where I do stuff. So that will be a great breather for myself too. To look at my own stuff. So that will be a problem. I always work around your skills.
Fantastic. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. No problem. Any other concerns you might have, other guys like Devesh, Randra, and UP?
No.
Answer may not be connected to whatever we know, but can you give a very example about BA role? Like, give some example from your real life experience that you are involved in a project, how exactly you started, and what was the result of the project, and something like that. That give us a more broad view or perspective of like what exactly we'll be doing.
No problem. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. When I went or my first job as a PA, right? I had no clue what I was doing there. Honestly, I had no idea what I was doing. I was kind of in a place, had no idea what was happening. Okay? But second day, when I was exposed to different people, this is on the first day what I could understand a little bit. They started making sense a little bit. Okay? They said to me that this is the project where you're going to be involved, and this is what we're doing right now. Okay? So one of my projects where I was working was an insurance company which went on buying spree, and they bought the insurance companies. Okay? Was that now the insurance company? Let's look at the big insurance companies. Insurance company. Okay. They had a multitude of products with them. Okay. They went ahead and imbibed, or they bought 3 more companies. Okay. Now all these 3 other companies what they bought, they all had the same product. Okay. How can they justify their cost? that they want to integrate all these projects with the same sense into one and to track all these projects and the products from one end. This was my first project. Okay. So with that, we said, or we were given this task, said, okay, now analyze all our existing systems and make out of it, can we actually hold, or do we have the capacity on the database to hold all these different users what we have into one? And how can we track all these different databases from one end? And how can we, if tomorrow we have a new agent signing up for an insurance company, how can we create a identity based on platform at one end? Instead of going into, say, P or C or D companies and doing it individually, how can we make that into one? That was my first project. Okay. What we did was, we went about analyzing what was existing, how many users they have in total. Okay, now company had existing 100,000 users. Just example, okay? B, C 30 and D had 40. Now in them together, 20, 30, 40 is what? 20, 30, 40 and 100, it's like 190,000 users, right? If to hold 190,000 users, can my existing database hold it? To go database guy, tell them, upgrade your system. Okay? That's the first requirement. Second, now, the front end initiation, label it to one. If, for example, wherever the people, whichever site, say, they log into site A.com, B.com, C.com, D.com, are one link? No. How can you do that? Change the interface. Make it into one. Okay? Now, though feeding it from one end, now they are retrieving information from one end. Other interfaces, other integrating systems, one? No, there are systems. So how can we code them to data? We don't do multiple identities for the same question. Identity because we gathered or acquired this company. ID because he's existing in the company. We didn't have redundant data or duplication. How can we avoid this thing in a very level what I told you? But I did this for 18 months. Just go to this project. See how much time it takes.
Okay.
Okay. Did I answer your question?
Yes, pretty much.
So exactly answer.
No, I mean, that's that. I mean, I got everything.
The big picture, right? I'm just trying to give you the big picture.
Yeah.
I can explain each and everything I did, but it's not going to make sense.
That's
in the
perfectly fine.
perspective, how are we catering to it, right? Next project, what I went was, I went to JP Morgan Chase. They were working on fixed income, okay? And they want to work on it, okay? Now this insurance, I'm jumping into something called finance. But luckily, business school and MBA in finance, so I had some knowledge about it, but everything, okay? So experience was very different. Experience might be a little different, but do you think my processes for the experience are completely different?
No.
Right?
No,
Let me ask you the other question.
When your core responsibility is the same.
Right, absolutely. Question, okay? Same for you guys.
What did Ravindra just say, Iqbal?
Yes?
What did Ravindra just say?
He said that it's going to be the same.
Yes.
Okay. My next question to you guys is that, do you think driving Mercedes-Benz on a BMW
Agree.
is
No,
that right?
It's the
same steering wheel, same windshield, same lights. But might have an enhanced feature like a BMW might have a powerful engine, a Mercedes might have more class.
Right.
What about that? What do we drive it, right?
Right.
The driving experience might be different, but the whole process of driving is still the same. Guys, did you get that point? It's very important. It's a process.
Yes.
Of you, Divesh?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes, you fine?
Yes. When do our next training? I'm just wondering about that since when.
How about finish this training? I'm just kidding. Okay, next time I don't know.
I like the reply.
So Divyesh is so tired of studying already.
Okay, no
No,
problem.
I'm with Tams, no Tams. I can still go for an hour.
You still have about 20 minutes to chill, right? I have to do something, keep you guys occupied. But most flights are finished. But that your question was, when is our next training, right? So the next training could be at convenience. How about that? Are you up for tomorrow? 7 o'clock?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
7:15, please. Can we meet 7:15? If I'm the only one, then I don't mind 7. But if 7 is okay,
That's 10:15. It's fine with me.
if it's okay to everyone.
Yes, please. It's fine with me.
Anytime is fine with us.
Okay, excellent. One thing
So much.
what I request, and I'm adamant about it, is my timings. Okay? Very, very flexible and understanding to whenever you call me to teach you. Okay? Give me a timing. I expect all of you to be on time. If it's 7:15, it's 7:15 on the dot. You will leave me time. Okay? If you guys are going to come late, that's fine with me. Just write me an email and say, "God, I'm going to be late. I have some class or whatever you have doing. Bullshit is okay. That's fine with me. But let me know that one or two guys are going to be late so that I come prepared for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what we have to value and understand is discipline in everything here. Let's do it from day one. Okay?
Is there a phone number and reach you at?
Or I'll pass it on to I don't know. I'll pass it on to you guys. That should be fine. Anytime you guys want to call me, you can call me.
Okay. I don't think I'll ever be late. It's just that if I'm ever stuck in traffic, which very rare.
No, that's fine. Like I said, anything is fine. If you have, you're stuck in traffic, you have to pick up the kids from the work, so school or something like that, or you guys have classes, or you guys have to cater your husbands, that's okay. That's understandable. I don't think to that. But whenever you're coming, just let me know.
Okay.
Iqbal,
Yes?
I have one. Can I ask where are you located as right now?
Right now, I'm out of Garfield. It's close to Hackensack. Just exit 157 in the park.
New York itself, New Jersey itself?
Yeah.
I mean, we were just, so we're here for the Saturday, Sunday classes as such?
Saturday
Some
classes,
weekend
I'll come down to the, I'll come down to the venue. And if certain things which are very important, I will talk to you there.
That's no problem.
Like, certain things which I feel that, I should be there in person to talk to you, then I teach that in class. But if I feel that, certain things like, introduction classes, I don't care so much. So, just give it off the way. Okay?
What time will
Thanks.
you the week, Iqbal?
Again, guys, tell me, when do you want to come? If you can get up 9 o'clock in the morning, that's fine with me. If you want to sleep late, go have a nice breakfast and come back, that's okay with me. Anytime, 11 to anything is okay with me.
Okay.
Okay, actually, unless and until I have another class.
Okay.
I myself have other 4 batches going on. No, 4. So, mostly I will accommodate every change possible. Let me know in advance.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah.
All right. All right, guys, so let's proceed further. Okay?
Mhm.
I'm just thinking that let's leave it at this today, because if I do this whole slide, then the other guys will definitely miss everything we learned so far. There's no way they can catch all these.
Sure.
Okay? Now, we have the next few minutes, okay? I want you guys individually to come up with your concerns. Any questions you have?
Question.
Whether there's anything you have in concern, my training, my speech, my volume, my level, anything. You want me to add something, reduce something, reduce my speed, or step up pace, anything, okay? Just please feel free. I'm going to ask you individually. Go down with Dhruti first.
So my question is, you mentioned previously that you were going to provide us all this material. So, get it like today, or how?
Absolutely. In the next couple of minutes, we'll be having it.
Yeah. All right.
So when we finish the class in the next couple of minutes, I'm not going to load it to the server yet, since I'm just going to. This is my first. I'm going to send it to you over the email. But I'm going to load it, and you can log into the email and to the server and download it from there.
Okay. We'll be having the material before we come down to the class, correct?
Nope. I'll give you that before the class.
So so we do not have to read. Okay. All right.
So, just the beginning. This is.
Yeah.
I will have a lot of things for you, very exciting things. So you'll be like drained for the next 2-3 days. For now, enjoy the space. Okay? But then whatever you're asking is right. I will have to, I'll give you access to every material what I have, but after the class. Okay? Because I'm sure you can read this before the class and come to the class and ask me questions. That does not excite your mind power, Like, talking about something already, hey, I've seen that slide, what are you going to talk about? That doesn't happen. We want you to answer the question, you guys. What do you feel? And then we will talk about the slides. Slides are nothing. It's basically how you and me learn about these things together. Right? I can write it, but how do you understand it? How do you pick it up? Is the most important question. All right? Next guy. I'm sorry to cut you off, but anything else, Ruti?
No.
Anything else you want to tell me about my, doing my speed to be harmless? Do you feel of my training? Or do you?
It's pretty good so far. It's just that sometimes it just gets a little fast, but it's fine. I mean, we can always, ask for repetition at that point. That's fine.
Okay. Please stop me at times when you feel I'm going too fast. Stop me, and I will repeat those same things again. The idea is not for me to learn. I know these things by heart. Okay? The idea is to understand it very well. Just not you, but all the 4 of you. Okay? Even if you have questions, the other would have picked it up. They could explain me. That could be a vision for them too. So it'll be more active the moment you ask me more questions. Okay? I think I addressed everybody in the session pretty much. So you should be in a position to comfortably talk to me. Do you feel like talking to me? Do you feel very difficult or something?
No.
All right. Pretty easy, breezy. So you can talk to me as much as you want. Okay? Anytime. Feel free. Okay?
Yeah.
I'm just one of you. So just that I learned it before you doesn't mean that I'm a guru here. I'm just, I'm just facilitating. I'm just knowledge transferring.
Okay. Yeah.
Or next to you, what are your thoughts and views and concerns, anything if you have?
Since your face is good, that's fine. I have every session, will you be giving us some assignments for?
Absolutely. Not the first. You have assignments, you'll have research projects, research projects, you will have presentation, you will have a diagram developing, have a finance session.
Okay, awesome.
So we'll be going through every part of it. I love finance, so I'm in finance. I work with hedge funds and private equities. Showing that knowledge free of cost to you. So something what you can pick it up and test me on that too. Okay? Actual special review from your top management company what you've done. Works or SmartWorks have actually asked me to do that. So I will do that thing for you. Okay? So pretty decent understanding of.
Yeah.
All right. There is anything else for me?
Apart from the training and apart from what assignments that you'll be giving, what extra things that we need to do? Because ultimately there will be 7 years of experience on our resume. So on a personal front, what suggestions give us that we should be going with that?
What suggestions I would give is that before I end the training, this is what will happen. Okay? In short, what is going to happen is that as we finish the training, I will myself walk you through. I will pick up randomly with you. I will go to the net. I will just put business analyst requirement and pick the requirement and see that. Are you handling it? Do you think in the requirement? Okay? Not everything. Maybe at least most part of it you should know by the training at the end of the training. That's what I expect. Okay? And what I do is that I have my personal friends who are working for very big firms at very big positions as directors and project owners. Okay? So I'll put across to them to have a mock interview. This is from my side. I don't know what SmartWorks does. Maybe they also have another mock interview for you. That's up to them. But my side, as a teacher, as a facilitator, I pose you to that. That you will know how far are you into the training or how deep are you into the water.
Awesome. That sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay.
So really what you go ahead.
An idea of how much of input you need to put in after that. It's required.
Yeah, awesome. So the only thing which I want out of this course is like, I think for me, I don't know what others. What I want is like, if you will keep us loaded with work, more than happy to do that, because ultimately, I'm ready for whatever assignments you give.
Okay. You have immense work, and I'll test you on the work. So you don't worry about that. So basically, there's going to be a test, but I'm testing you on every session. Pretty much whatever you learn, I'm going to testing you. You saw too many questions, so I don't leave any of you. Nobody's sleeping in my class for sure. So,
Okay.
Okay. So all of you will be on your feet, because I'll be asking random questions all the time. Okay.
That
No
works.
way that lose my training at any point. Okay. So that's
Awesome,
not me. I do it. I don't want to humiliate you guys. It's just that I want you guys to learn, and the one is to test you. Okay.
Yeah, I'm with that. I'm fine with that.
Thank Raghavendra. Go ahead, Raghavendra.
Yeah, Iqbal, I'm comfortable with the way the session is going on. I'm happy with the discussions that are happening. The only question I had was, with all this said and all the assignments and everything, all the training and all the effort put in, we put in everything as say. I think would be the time frame that we'll be ready to get into the market. Honestly.
1 month training, 2 months of homework, you should be ready.
1 training and 2 months of the homework.
Homework. In that,
You
1
mean-
month is about I give you all the information, right? That you will be learning as you go, on the go, meaning on the requirement. If there is a requirement which is focusing on a certain domain on a certain product, you will research, tailoring yourself to that, custom yourself to that. Okay, that will be
Alright.
what you will be learning. Now, it does not
Alright.
mean that when I teach you things that you know everything, right? And even if you know everything, does not mean that the market thinks that you know everything. Okay, so there's going to be a work from your side too. Think of it this way: at the end of the training, what you will grab from the training is about, if you learn everything, is about 65 to 70%. 30% is something what you will be taking on your own. That's it. If somebody's telling you something that's actually bullshit.
No.
Okay, I'm telling you the reality of how it goes. Okay.
Right. All right.
Okay. Lavina, what is your concerns? What concerns? If you have anything for me.
No, I think I'm very comfortable with the training. I like your pace.
Okay.
I like your training method as well. No, my question was pretty much the same as Raghavendra's, and you answered it, so I'm good.
Okay, that's pretty good. So guys, with that, we have about still 9 more minutes to kill. Okay, and I would really suggest and recommend is that please start reading Wall Street Journal. If you want to subscribe, also it's very expensive. Please visit CNBC.com on a daily basis. And what is happening in the market. Okay, so what happens is that people who interview, they might throw you general questions. And questions could be very silly, but it's oriented in market basis, right? So do is that you should know what is happening in current market situation. Okay? And what is that? I would say that on a daily basis, start looking at all the business analyst requirements what are happening in the market. So that how much you're learning from the class, and am I addressing all these issues or all these requirements which is given to you or which are there in the market. Okay? And for that, if possible, I would say that on your own basis, start learning about the financial products, instruments, exchanges, and everything what is existing. It is not what you will cultivate on a 1-day basis or 2-day basis, but it's a long process. Okay? Because anybody coming from the finance background as such, but if you're going to be in the East Coast domain, then it's going to be finance. Either you're going to be working for Deutsche Bank or maybe JP Morgan Chase or maybe Sachs or things of that sort. Or maybe fire in the pharmaceutical domain. So you know what is happening there and what they expect from you. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
It isn't what you can learn overnight. So I would say slowly start building your vocabulary to that, your basic understanding of it, and get the decent hang of it. Okay? So many things even they might not know because I have not learned or I have not worked on that domain. It does not mean they are completely different. Like we said, driving a Mercedes-Benz or a BMW is pretty much the same. So you should do that a little bit and get a hang of it. And apart from that, what you do is that start thinking, or at this point, I would say, all you guys, please download MS Visio. It's a very important tool for you to develop UML diagrams. Okay? Download systems and start getting yourself familiarized with. Okay? Now, so just download the system and look at what MS Visio basically does. Okay? Also, apart from that, look at what a server is, what a database is, what are the different databases, what are different languages, how important is Java, why do people use Java, things of that sort. I spelled a lot, but even if I have one topic at a day, maybe at least look into it, will be very useful to you. Because I want my sessions to be very practical and believe in theoretical knowledge, because it's total bullshit. You're so used to it. But I think if you develop your skills around that, definitely you will all have jobs by the end of the training, and hopefully you get placed very soon. Okay?
Okay.
Guys, all agree on this?
Yeah.
Okay? I think you have about 10 slides more to this thing. I'm still sure if I should send you today. Maybe it's a good idea if we can have the other guys come in tomorrow. Okay? We will talk the same things, and we will make sure that you guys teach those guys. Okay? The questions. At the same time, we will have you explaining the concepts to them. Let me finish this slide tomorrow. Okay? Say 7:15, and Friday is 15, right? So I'm giving you WebEx thing, which I feel is more comfortable for me because it's more user friendly. I don't like there's always like kind of disconnects. I don't know why, right? But we will stick to that. From that, I don't have to say anything else. But with that, if everybody is comfortable, or if there are questions for me, you can ask me. If not, we can call it tonight.
Good.
No questions from my side either.
All right. So you can just check for now. The homeworks are going to follow very soon, and we have something going on for you. Till then, take care, enjoy yourself, and we will catch up tomorrow at 7:15.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you, Raghavendra, Divesh, and Lavina. All right?
Thank you.
All right, it's good night. Take care. Bye-bye.